And welcome back to Music Free Static. I hope you're having a fabulous day. And the Minecraft, or Mojang, I guess, dropped I don't, an announcement, I suppose. I was going to call it a press release. That's not quite right. It's definitely an announcement where they're talking about the future of Minecraft's development. Okay. And it was an interesting thing. I want to talk about it here a little bit, especially since I just talked about how I like the experimental stuff that they've been doing here with the last few snapshots, right? I thought that was kind of cool. So let's dive into this a little bit. And there's a link to this in the description. It's over on Minecraft.net, so you can go see it there. But let's talk about things a little bit. I'm going to read a little bit from the announcement, okay? It says, "We know that you want new Minecraft content more often, which is why we're changing our feature development rhythm. Instead of providing one free update during the summer, as we've done in the past, we'll now be releasing a number of free game drops throughout the year. These game drops will vary in size and will bring you features to explore more frequently." Okay, and that's the end of the quote. Now, in a lot of ways, this is a continuation of what they're already doing. Okay, we saw this already. They said that the bat update is considered one of these new drops. Okay, and all that did was change the texture on a bat. Nothing ridiculously crazy. The armored paws drop was obviously another drop. That was the armadillos and the wolf variants and the wolf armor. Okay, right, that type of thing. Okay, so these are the types of things we could potentially be seeing in drops. Now, this is interesting. I saw a couple of people in, I forgot what it was. Maybe the Syscraft Discord. They're talking about, well, obviously this means they're not going to be doing an end update. They won't be doing any of those types of big updates like we saw partly with Caves and Cliffs, like the big Nether update that happened, so many updates ago, right? I don't think that's what this means, okay? They are talking about, okay, you'll get things in various sizes. So we could see small updates like, they update the texture of the sheep, okay? Something small like that, okay? Nothing. Let's just depict something ridiculous. We could see a drop that's an inventory update. It's not huge, but kind of important, right? Something like along those lines. What we could see is maybe we get a couple of these small updates. Maybe we get a new mob. Maybe we don't. Maybe we get who knows what, right? But what we could see is a couple of years, they will drop something big. Or we'll start seeing the hints of something bigger, right? They'll start showing up in snapshots. They'll start showing up as experimental features, which, again, goes back to my last episode where I talked about how I liked the experimental stuff that they're working on, right? All right. Great. But there could be an issue with this, okay? Snoopers in my Discord, the Music Free Gaming Discord, had this to say. I thought it was insightful. She said, "I care very much about the frequency of updates." Okay, I'm going to break in here for a minute and just remind you, we're talking about updates dropping multiple times during the year, not just one big update like in the summer, like we've had the last few years. Okay. Coming back on to Snoopers, she says, "They are server killers. People want to play with new features and stop playing on a server until the server can be updated. Or the server owners decide to start fresh and everything people were working on is just left behind unfinished. Both are very frustrating. One major update a year is already too frequent in my opinion. Thus saith Snoopers." Okay. Now, Snoopers makes an excellent point, okay? And we've already seen these types of delays, right? You don't have to look too much further than like Hermitcraft, right? They updated, but it was like a month or so after the updates dropped, okay? And I saw the same thing on Tinker World, where the SMP that I'm playing on right now. And it's the same type of thing. We had to wait until all of the mods we used updated. Because this is the thing about most servers, okay? Most servers use mods. Now, not necessarily big and exciting game-changing mods. It's not like they're necessarily dropping in Create Mod or all of these big mod packs. But a lot of servers use mods for performance, for one thing, okay? Because you start getting a lot of people on a server and you need to do something to be sure that it stays performant for all of the people playing, right? Because people don't like playing on a lag server, right? If you get on a server and you're getting ridiculous lag, you're just not going to play on it, right? So there is that. From a content creator server standpoint, okay, this is something like Hermitcraft, Tinker World is a sort of falls into that. The server exists for Tinker's supporters, but he's also invited a bunch of content creators on as well, because he's also a content creator and he wants people who are that same sort of rhythm on the server. Okay, and that's awesome, and that's how I ended up there. Okay. But we had to wait to do updates until all of the mods we use for content creation were updated as well. Okay, because there were a number of mods, like, okay, a couple of weeks, we wouldn't have had to wait too long for the server mods, but a lot of the mods we use for content creation were delayed, okay? And so we had to wait until those were updated, okay? And that's an issue. Now, we had a little bit of a head start on Tinker because we used a data pack that turned on some of the experimental features, namely the tough blocks, the crafter, right? All of the blocky stuff from this update, from the tricky trials update, right? But that means we did have to wait, is that a month or two maybe, to get the armadillos, to get the wolf variants and wolf armor and all of that type of thing. Okay. And if you're on a server where you're not necessarily dealing with content creators, you just want to play Minecraft on a server with your friends, or just a bunch of other people, who knows, right? The new updates drop. Oh, and I want to go collect all the dogs. Well, you can't collect all the dogs because they're not there yet, because the server hasn't updated, and people can just sort of wait. So I can see this being an issue. Now, servers restarting, doing new seasons, that's fairly common. Even before the updates go, right? But yes, I fully get Snooper's comment of, yeah, then whatever you're working on just sits there unfinished, right? Now, a previous SMP I was playing on was Mandolin's Nerdy SMP. Mandolin is a streamer on Twitch, and she has a very awesome community. It's a great community to be in. And she has a long-term server, and I played on there for years before I kind of, one, got burnt out on the projects I was working on, and two, she had made some changes to the server that were making it less fun for me, okay? They weren't bad changes, okay, in a general sense. It was things like, oh, okay, we're going to turn on Creative Flight for people, keep inventory is on, if some things like that were fine, they're great for what she wanted to do. It was making it less fun for me, so I haven't played on there since then. But, or in a couple of years anyway. But it's the same sort of thing. What Mandolin ends up doing is, okay, we can't upgrade our main server, so she does a summer camp, and so she'll set up a temporary server for those who want to play. That's on the new version, so people get to play with that. Yes, you play without some of the extra mods. Now, there are some things like keep inventory that she can turn on, but some of the other things that she has going on, she turns off, she can't install, right? Because they're not available. And when things are ready to upgrade the main server, then she does some things through administrator magic, copy people's builds and put them on the main server. Okay. Very cool for that community. But you can see that sort of excitement. It's like, oh, I want to play with the new stuff. And I can't because my server isn't updated. Right? You can kind of see this is a concern. Now, if you're dealing with a creator community and you're an SMP that's just creators, which admittedly, that's a fairly small number, okay? But if you're dealing with that, I can see, all right, you maybe don't mind waiting, okay? Though, I see it on the Hermitcraft streams that I hang out in, because I watch a number of the Hermits, and as soon as the update drops, you see in these comments all the freaking time of, when's Hermitcraft updating? What are you updating? When do you get the new stuff? And the answer is always the same. Says, well, we're going to wait till the mods we use are updated. Okay. So that's a challenge. And again, when you're dealing with non-creator servers, what happens? Now, with some of the smaller updates, maybe it's not that big a deal, right? Okay, there's a new bat texture. Nobody's going to complain if they have to wait a month for a new bat texture. Things like that, it's just not that big a deal. But, dogs, right? I know there are lots of people that like to go out and collect all the different flavors of cats. The new wolf variants, absolutely. I know the people on Tinker World have been, oh yes, I have to go collect all of the dogs. Okay. Now, I personally have not cared about any of that because I don't play that way. But I understand some of the people's desire to go do this, especially like, oh, I want to go hit the new trial chamber. I want to play with the mace. I want to do X, Y, and Z, right? Whatever it is. So, yeah, okay. I get that. Well, fine. This is a problem. Now, this is a problem we've kind of known about for a while already, okay? Because we've already seen this sort of update cycle for the last year or so. Because, again, they've already done a couple of these. And we're seeing that. But Mojang seems to be making a lot of updates that are going to be making it easier for at least data packs to update more quickly, okay? Resource packs to update more quickly. Unfortunately, it means they do have to be updated, right? Because when they're updating the data pack version or updating the resource pack version, the authors of those data packs and those resource packs have to go click at a couple of things, change some things in their files, and re-upload. And, of course, resource packs is less of an issue, but data packs, do they work with the new version? Well, maybe. Had time to test? Who knows? Now, to give props to Mojang, they put out these snapshots regularly. So anyone who's developing a mod, who's developing a data pack and wants to test it before the new update drops, they have ample opportunity. Now, that's not quite the same as being able to say, oh, yes, we're ready to go on launch day, because that's not true, right? Because the last release candidate and the actual release are not necessarily the same, and there could be some issues with the mods. So there's still some testing. But in theory, with smaller updates, it should break the mods less, hopefully. Unless you start dealing with some bigger things like the crafter or, some of these other updates that could be problematic, right? So we'll see. I think from a regular player standpoint, more frequent updates are probably a good thing. And there was an interesting note in the update. Let me read this here. It says, over the coming year, we'll also be exploring ways to improve Minecraft's multiplayer experience and make it easier to find and connect with friends. Now, this was extraordinarily vague. Okay. Oh, we're going to update this experience. Okay, for who? That's an important question to ask, okay? Mojang's moneymaker is the Bedrock edition. Okay. Bedrock is Minecraft's moneymaker. The game costs the exact same amount as the Java edition, and now you get both if you buy them. Okay. Lovely. But unlike Java, you have to pay for different things for your skins. Okay. You can't just, oh, I will design a skin myself in GIMP or whatever, and boom, look, new skin. Ta-da! I am wonderful. Okay. Doesn't work that way. In Java, or in Bedrock, it's here are the stuff, here are the variants of clothing and outfits and things that you could buy, microtransaction style. And so, oh, I have this pair of pants and this suit and this hat and this shirt and these different bits and bobs, okay? And I didn't quite understand how extensive this was until Mojang was dropping a lot of those clothing items as part of the 15th anniversary updates. Okay, great. The other thing that you get a lot of in Bedrock are these paid experiences. Okay, I don't necessarily want to call them DLC. I mean, like, they are, but they're also different, right? Because it's something like, here, for X number of dollars, you get this Star Wars adventure, right? And now you can log into the Star Wars map. There's NPCs and different blocks and all sorts of cool stuff, right? And they've had a bunch of these for different things, right? Okay, that's great, I suppose. But on Bedrock, the only server experience you really get are realms. Yes, there are hosting companies that do host Bedrock servers, but you're not getting a modded experience at all. There really aren't a lot of server mods for Bedrock. Hardly any, as fact. There may be data packs which are available that you can apply in Bedrock and maybe some resource packs and things. But for the most part, Bedrock is about as bare bones as you can get. So when they're talking about Minecraft's new multiplayer experience, is that something that's going to be pushed and limited to Bedrock players? Or is there something more exciting coming with Java? Right? That's a question I don't have an answer to, but it could be really interesting to see. Okay. But that doesn't change the fact that, hey, the frequent updates are breaking mods that are used by Java players. Okay. But in all honesty, I think this is ultimately going to be, it's going to be a good thing overall, at least for your regular Minecraft player, despite some of the server issues. And I totally agree with Snoopers. This could be a problem for people who are hosting their own servers on Java. Okay, I think that's important because, again, on Bedrock, the experience is somewhat more limited. You don't have the mods and you can update those servers faster. Okay. Great. Now, the thing with the smaller drops, right? One of the things that's been I want to say it's been disappointing. I'm going to put air quotes around that. It's disappointing from a lot of the discourse I've seen online, is that, oh, this update was so small. This wasn't, we want big nether updates, and we want big, all of these other big types of updates that Mojang has done in the past. What they're doing now is say, look, we're not doing these sorts of big drops right now, because I think what they're seeing is the internet outrage. And now, how much of that outrage is just a vocal minority? How much of it actually is widespread? I don't know. But how much of it is, we're dropping this big update and there's a smaller than desired number of updates. Okay. We'll just sort of go with that. And we'll talk about some of that in a little bit, but the idea that, hey, oh, what did we get in the Tricky Trials? Oh, we got the mob drop, the armadillos from the mob vote. Okay. Except that didn't happen in the Tricky Trials update. That was the Armored Paws drop, right? That was the armadillo and the wolf variants and the wolf armor. What did you get in the Tricky Trials? We got trial chambers, we got a mace, and we got the breeze, and we got the bogged, right? The new skeleton that's got fungus all over it, right? That shoots the poison arrows and all that good stuff. Okay, right. Lots of fun stuff there. And of course, we also got all of the block updates, the new copper variants, new tough variants, the crafter, right? So there's a lot of stuff there. But was it a lot? Was it an update that justified a new big name, the Tricky Trials? I think so. But a lot of the community disagrees with that. Okay, fine. So let's talk about other things the community disagrees with. Okay, and this now involves Minecraft Live. Okay, now I'm going to read a little bit again from their announcement, and there are a number of things I want to talk about here. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Okay, so here's what it says. We're changing the format for Minecraft Live and retiring the mob vote to bring you something new. Okay, this is a big deal. We'll get to that in a second. Instead of doing one show per year, usually in October, Minecraft Live will now become a more focused broadcast, and it will happen twice per year. Each show will be packed with everything you need to know about the latest features we're working on, what's coming into testing, and the newest news from across the Minecraft franchise. Okay, let's deal with the second, or actually, we'll deal with the first sentence later. The rest of it, okay, breaking into 2 bits. Okay, you're doing an online thing. You can do it as often as you want, okay? Nintendo discovered this when they killed their big convention and said, nah, we'll do Nintendo Directs just whenever we kind of feel like we need to do a Nintendo Direct, okay? In this case, we're getting a couple of updates. And, I mean, it means I have to sit through Vu-Bui soaking in cheese for 10 or 15 minutes or whatever it is, okay? Seriously, if they could make one change to Minecraft Live, it's chill with whatever they're doing with Vu-Bui, okay? Admittedly, I know they have to try to be interesting to 8-year-olds, and I'm sure he is, but oh man, he drives me nuts. Anyway, so it's going to be an update. They're going to talk about new features, things they're working on. That's great. Stuff that's coming to testing, also great. Until the internet trolls say, you said you were going to do this, and you didn't. Oh, I hate Minecraft. This is proof the game is dying, and Mojang is the horrible, monstrous beast after whatever, okay? They're going to go on forever, and it's stupid, okay? And sure, there have been disappointments, right? An update to Birch Forests was promised and never happened. A lot of people were disappointed that Fireflies never made it into the game, okay? Now, whether it's as entities, okay, which have some issues, or as something more environmental, like maybe kind of what we see in, I don't know, you walk into like, what's the Basalt Delta in the Nether? Okay, where it's all got like the ashy snowflake things. Okay, well, maybe if you're in the overworld in certain biomes, and maybe if the light level is a certain thing, maybe you get flashes of fireflies. That would be cool. It's a nice environmental thing. Having fireflies as entities, I'm not sold on. Okay? Honestly, I'm just not. I'm not. They don't interest me at all. Okay? Would they look pretty? Sure. But I have no attachment to fireflies, so, unless it's a show about people in brown coats, one step ahead of a overbearing government, I don't really care. That's for all of you Firefly fans out there. Okay. But, okay, so that's going on. It'll be interesting. The things that it talks about being across the Minecraft franchise is a little bit interesting. Because again, Minecraft is not just Minecraft anymore. It hasn't been for a while, right? You had Minecraft Dungeons, you had Minecraft Legends, you've got a Minecraft movie, which everything except the live actors looks great. I don't like Jack Black. I kind of agree with BOO. Jason Momoa is not funny. So I don't know. Maybe I'm hoping it'll be great. But I don't like the live action actors in Minecraft. Okay. I'd go on it for that for a while. It looks like they're stealing the story from Minecraft Legends. So yeah, whatever. Anyway, but that's part of the Minecraft franchise, right? And Mojang's going to be putting out new games that's not Minecraft. It's Minecraft themed something, right? So, I don't know, GT Minecraft, right? Grand Theft Minecraft. Who knows what they're going to be doing, right? Here, some Minecraft FPS. I don't know. But they'll be doing something, right? They'll be dropping other things. So that's their opportunity to let everybody know about their things. Okay, fine, lovely, wonderful. Makes life happy and stuff, right? Okay, great. But I think what was really interesting was that they are getting rid of the mob vote. Now, the mob vote has been a thing in Minecraft culture for a very long time. Okay, going back a lot of years, as a way of keeping the community involved as part of the game and to build excitement and just to do cool stuff, they would hold a vote amongst the community. Sometimes it was, hey, which biome should we upgrade first? And I think that led to some confusion. It's like where the word first implied that the others would also happen, and that wasn't the case. It's like, oh yeah, pick these from these different mobs, the Phantom and whatever else happened in the time the Phantom was voted in. Well, nobody likes the Phantom, and but one of the other mobs that they were talking about, turns out it was a mob that would remove enchantments from tools and weapons. And Mojang decided, you know what? There's a better way to do this. And now we had that capability on the grindstone. Okay? A good idea, I think, actually. Well, the last two mob votes have been nothing but a contention fest, right? It has been nothing but mobs, or mobs actually in some ways, yeah. But a lot of people coming out and just raising Cain. Now, some of it I can kind of sort of understand. So here's a comment that came from Satan Sprite in my community, in the Music Free Gaming Discord. She said, when talking about the mob votes, like, why couldn't we have all three options somehow and maybe vote for which one we got first or something like that? I didn't really like the carrot on a stick teasing of the other options that might have seemed like cool things, but then it's like, oh, sorry, snooze you lose type deal, right? And I did see a lot of that too, of why can't I just do all three, right? Well, we've got armadillos and penguins and crabs. Why can't Mojang give us crabs? Because it's bad PR to have that sentence come out of any sort of mouth anywhere. But no, the idea is that Mojang has been trying to do something cool, get people involved. This is exciting. This is fun. And we are not allowed to have fun, apparently. And while I disagree to some extent with Sprite's general things, why couldn't we have all three? Well, because doing all three is hard. It takes time. But I also understand where she's coming from. Why couldn't we have all three? These are awesome. I want all of them. Right? I get that. And so there's some feeling where it's like, that something's being taken away, right? Despite the fact that nothing was taken away, it's like, here are three options, and, well, the one you wanted didn't get picked, and now there's disappointments. Okay? So I get that. And I can kind of understand that. But it ticks me off that in a lot of ways, the rage trolls won. Because it was just one big scream fest about how horrible Mojang was because they're not giving us all three, and how dare they have other priorities or something. So that annoys me. Now, at a high level, I cared almost not at all for the mob vote. Okay. Again, it's not my style of gameplay. I don't like to explore. I don't like PvE. And the vast majority of some of these updates, that's kind of what they focused on, right? So, okay, the trial chambers, it was kind of fun to do once. Partly because I had fun just going into the trial chamber with a shotgun, right? I had a multi-shot crossbow with exploding rockets. That was kind of fun. But it wasn't something I want to go do often, right? My Minecraft style, I'm a farmer, right? I like to do redstone-y things. I like to farm things with redstone. Okay, I build too, but that redstone farming stuff is fun. That's what I like. So if a mob doesn't do something that I could farm with, it's less interesting to me. Now, there's some fun stuff that came out of the trial chambers. There are 3 new potions, 2 of which, when you combine them, can give you crazy drops and XP, and it's new slime farm meta, and all sorts of cool stuff, right? All right, that's cool. And the fact that you could use your armadillo to trigger that, or I have seen so much Allay abuse in the last couple of weeks, right? Of yes, if you splash an Allay with a infestation potion and then set them on fire, the Allay will regen and not get hurt, but now you'll get silverfish everywhere. And if you splash the silverfish with oozing potions, now you get slime everywhere, or hit them with a weaving potion, now you get cobwebs, or right, there's all this fun stuff that you can do. That's cool. But I have zero interest outside of that with the armadillo. Great, it exists. It is kind of cute. Wolf armor actually is kind of useful now in the early game, because it's kind of nice to have some wolves around to help protect you. Okay, fine. But I forgot what the previous mob vote was because I just didn't care. Okay, so honestly, all in all, I'm not sad that the mob vote is going away. I think what we are going to start seeing, though, we'll start seeing mobs be added. Sometimes those environmental mobs like frogs or glow squid or something. But we'll also start seeing some other updates, and they'll come slowly. And there's one thing I was just thinking about as we're looking at this overall change in update frequency. Like, one of the things that's been talked about is an inventory update, right? Because with all of the new blocks, it could be a challenge to balance an inventory, okay? Well, when you're doing these big updates once a year, it's not sexy to drop in an inventory update, okay? Or a performance update. It's just not. That's not something flashy that you could put on an ad. Look, Minecraft is cool because we made it better, made it faster. Okay. Better is good. Faster, yeah, who cares? It just looks, that's something you want to slide in as you can, but it's not sexy. And oh yeah, we've added a backpack or something. Cool, but hard to, I said, it's not sexy. It's not something that you can really advertise or put on merch like you can an armadillo or something, right? With these smaller updates, you could see a drop that's an inventory drop. Okay? Because it might be quote unquote smaller, but hey, now you can put a shulker box and with a toolsmith thing, right? that sort of, I'm blanking on the name of that crafting table, but you could put it in the toolsmith and upgrade it just like you might with netherite armor. Maybe it uses netherite, maybe it uses something else, but boom, now this enchanted shulker box is a backpack that you can put in a new slot in your inventory and access magically somehow. Okay, right? Who knows? But that's something they could slip in one of their drops. That's not that they don't have to worry about doing something big. But if they want to do something big, they still can. Right? This doesn't stop them from doing an end update or even dropping in a new dimension if they wanted to. It just says, hey, not every update has to be big and huge. Instead, we could do a drop that adds, I don't know, that changes camels so you could put chests on them. Who knows, right? Something like that. Or a wandering trader in a desert will have a camel instead of a llama. Okay, whatever. But it gives them that flexibility. And I think that is going to be kind of cool. Again, I think Snoopers is right. This could be a problem for Minecraft SMPs, Minecraft communities. And that's something that's just going to have to be worked out within the community. But it's some interesting stuff. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see. The announcement was made. I'm recording this on what is today, September 9th, which is several days ago as you're hearing this now. So other updates and stuff may have come since then. But it'll be interesting. So let me know what you think. I've already heard some good stuff from my community in the Music Free Gaming Discord. But let me know. Drop a comment or, again, join the Discord. I'm happy to chat there too. And let's see what good things are coming out of Mojang together. And until next time, be excellent to each other. And this is Music Free Static signing off.